devotion. There are several levels of devotion that you can see here. One is, of course, the devotion of Madam Sita Dorairaj, the devotion that made her not just visit all these temples, but also to have at her core the love and affection for her family that have made her convert all these ideas into a series of articles and books, and that she has been pursuing for decades and decades. Out of these 101 temples, she has visited 70. And if you go through the narrative, you can see that the title that Sundar has given, A Spiritual Journey, is so apt because the articles are in a way eclectic, in the sense that somewhere in some of the temples, she is totally amazed by the history of the temple, the stories behind the temples. In other temples, she is captivated by the imagery, by the architecture, by the art. In some other temples, she is much more involved in the spirituality that that temple particularly represents. So when calling it a spiritual journey, it is really a very, very personal journey of hers, which different impressions and different emotions have been very aptly captured in this book. And when I use the word devotion, I also say that Sundar, who has spent so many hours, I know Sundar for many, many years, and this is not his area of expertise. To put it very politely, this is not his Vagartha. But the fact that he has spent hours and hours to make a meticulous translation of what Sita Dorairaj actually meant and how she wanted to convey, and to convert it into an extremely relevant English book, I think I must compliment him on his devotion. And then, of course, the devotion of the family, the two daughters of Ms. Sita Dorairaj, who felt it extremely important to make this event happen, here in Chennai, to honor their mother, or not just the mother and the book, but to honor the memory of their father and their brother. I think it is amazing. And finally, let me say, the contents itself. Tamil Nadu is, of course, a majority of the temples mentioned here are temples in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is an amazing place. Amazing place historically. It is amazing because, fortunately because of history, these temples were not destroyed. So there are temples which are 1,000 years, 1,500 years old. There are temples which are 2,000 years old. The Movar Koil in Kodungiyur is the oldest temple that we have here, and that is about 1,800 years old. So to be able to get a place where all these temples exist and to want to talk about it is to me very, very special, because we also go to most of these temples. And the other speciality of the Tamil Nadu temple is, over the years, each of the temples has got a particular answer to a particular kind of devotion. The Navagraha temples, each Navagraha has a temple of its own. Vaiteswaran Koil, you go to get your health better. There are temples you go for marriage, getting the girl married. There are temples you go for a safe delivery. There are temples you go for education. There are also temples which you go when you go mad and you want to cure yourself also. All kinds of temples. And that's the speciality of Tamil Nadu, the variety. Inside maybe just the Shivalingam and the Ambal. But each temple has a Sannidhyam, which is very particular and special to that temple. And each one of us seeks that Sannidhyam in that temple. So once again I must say, I'm very, very deeply honored to be part of this. I'm younger to her, so I can't say I use the word compliment. I really respectfully give my admiration to Ms. Sita Dorairaj for making this happen, and also to Sundar for making the English translation so wonderful. Thank you very much.
இந்த புத்தகம் வெளியிடுவதற்கு சீதா அம்மா அவர்கள் போட்ட முயற்சியையும் அர்ப்பணிப்பையும், அது மட்டுமன்றி அவர்கள் குடும்பத்தினரின் அர்ப்பணிப்பையும் அவர் உணர்ந்து பாராட்டியதற்கு டாக்டர் எஸ் நாராயணன் அவர்களுக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. அடுத்து அருள் தரும் ஆலய தரிசனம் என்ற தமிழ் பதிப்பு, டெம்பிள்ஸ் ஆஃப் இந்தியா ஏ ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் ஜர்னி என்ற ஆங்கில பதிப்பு ஆகிய தெய்வீக புத்தகங்களை பிரசுரித்த பதிப்பாளர் திரு ஸ்ரீதர் அவர்கள் ஹேலண்ட் புக்ஸ் அண்ட் ஸ்மார்ட் சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் என்ற நிறுவனத்தின் தலைமை நிர்வாக அதிகாரியாக இருக்கிறார். 1980 REC திருச்சியில் BE ஹானர்ஸ் பட்டம் பெற்றுள்ளவர். பெங்களூரில் உள்ள PSI டேட்டா சிஸ்டம்ஸ் என்ற நிறுவனத்தில் 3 வருடங்கள் பல்வேறு பொறுப்புகளில் பணியாற்றி பின் தன் 2 நண்பர்களுடன் இணைந்து சொந்தமாக தொழில் தொடங்கினார். பிரபலமான IBM கணினிகள் இந்தியாவில் வருவதற்கு முன்பே இவர் கணினிகள் உருவாக்கியது மட்டுமன்றி அக்ருதி என்ற கணினிகளுக்கு தேவையான இந்திய மொழி எழுத்துருகளும் கணினி விசை பலகைகளும் உருவாக்கினார். பல்வேறு இந்திய மொழிகளில் டிஜிட்டல் ஊடகங்களுக்கும் அச்சுக்கும் தகவல்களை பிரசுரித்துள்ளார். NCERT, நேஷனல் புக் ஆஃப் ட்ரஸ்ட் எனும் பல கல்வி நிலையங்களுக்கு ஆலோசகராக உள்ளார். இந்திய மொழிகள் மற்றும் டிஜிட்டல் ஊடகங்களில் பிரசுரிப்பது பற்றி பல விரிவுரைகள் வழங்கியிருக்கிறார். அவரை நம்முடன் சில வார்த்தைகள் பகிர்ந்து அழைக்கிறேன்.
அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். அழகான தமிழில் மொழிபெயர்த்த சுபாஷினிக்கு மிகவும் நன்றி. இந்த புஸ்தகம் வெளிவருதுன்னா இட்ஸ் டைவர்ஷன் கல்பம் தான் சொல்லணும். இட்ஸ் தேர் இன் த புக். ஐ மீன் என்ன, இது சீட் ஆஃப் தாட் ஒரிஜினேட்டட் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 2 years back. When Jayashree wrote a mail and said that இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இது இருக்குது and யாராவது பண்ண முடியுமானா immediately I put my hands up. I said I can do it. Let's see how we can அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அதுக்கப்புறம் நிறைய இன்ட்ராக்ஷன் ஆச்சு ஃபோனில் ப்ளஸ் மெயிலில் and all that. It went through a lot of journey after that, putting the content together and getting it in the form of a book and all that. So today what you see is the culmination of that, and it had to happen today. Last year there was a plan to launch this book, but somehow that didn't happen. That was only for Tamil at that time, and then it was not complete in that form which could come out. So அதனால் இந்த மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு வருது அப்படின்னா இது already predetermined event which we are just traversing through. And இதை பண்ணுறதுமே it's a big thing. I have been blessed and I have been fortunate to do this. And I mean, she's like our mother. She's BD's mother. BD was our classmate, and it's been a wonderful journey. And being with him and going after that, and then doing this book. I mean, so this particular thing, when I was doing the editing part of it and the layout and all that, I've read through all these narratives and the stories which are there about 101 in all. I have also been fortunate enough to visit many of these temples. The thing is, it's been a wonderful journey reading through this again, even though I have been to those temples and I never looked at those minute details nor heard about that. So அந்த மாதிரி even போயிருந்தா கூட this book gave me a new perspective to see the temple and enjoy the thing more. And it has also been a great community effort by a lot of people. And a lot of my friends have contributed in giving photographs to this. In fact, Kamesh gave the cover photo. So he was kind enough. I told him, hey, Kapalishwarar Koil photo now Nadapada. Within about 10 minutes he sent a photo, and that we showed it to her, and then she liked it, and then it got finalized. And the other friend Maple gave Rockport photo and Srirangam photo. I mean, in fact, எல்லா photo இருந்தது, ஆனால் ராக்போர்ட் ஃபோட்டோவே இல்லாமல் இருந்தது. மலைக்கோட்டை உச்சி பிள்ளையார் கோவில், that is the first story in the book. And then he had put a book on a photo on Facebook that day, about I think 15-20 days back. Then I said, Mapla, this is good, we'll use it for photo in this. He said, go ahead, don't ask permission and all that, just shoot it. So it's been a great thing altogether. And more than that, working on this kind of a book, it gives a different sense of satisfaction in terms of working, in terms of doing things. And my request is that you please go through this book. Feel free to interact with us, interact with me, how you find the book and what you think can be made better or anything. Because apart from the print edition, which has been like one, we are also bringing out the electronic edition. So that means there will be an e-version of this, which you can read on your mobile phones and Kindle and other devices. So that book content can be dynamic. It can be changing. So we can introduce many things in that. So you are free to interact on that. Give your opinions about what you find about this book and how you think it can be made better and all that. We'll see how we can take this forward. And I hope this reaches people and people find it useful. Because it's a very good tourist guide also. So in fact, the other thing is when you want to visit those temples, especially in some circuit you are going, if you can read these details and go and visit the temple, it makes it much better. And that's what I realized when I went to some temples recently in Kumbhakonam, and I read through these stories and then I went to the temple. So I could appreciate it much better and in a more detailed manner also, which I would have normally ignored. I mean, that has been very good, and the idea of publishing it in English and Hindi, English and Tamil is very good, because there are a lot of people who want to know about our own temples, but then unable to read Tamil for whatever reason. Even my children can't read Tamil, so these things are part of life. So they would appreciate it much better in English if it comes to them and is given. And I should really thank Sundar and Rekha for doing a wonderful translation in English, because the English translation also I read through and I found it very fluid and easy to read. And thanks to Jayashri and Usha for coordinating on this. I mean, it's a lot of work and they've been patiently reciprocating the proofreading part of it and the error corrections and all that. Even in spite of all that, if some errors have crept into the book, please pardon us, we'll correct it. Okay, and thanks a lot once again for all of you for making it convenient to attend and be here with us and make this a great success. Okay, thank you so much. One more, last but not the least. I mean, there are a whole lot of guys from REC who are engaged in this project. Okay, I should really owe it to the institution, and that's it. I mean, there is all round cheers from everybody. Somewhere or other we are all connected, and that's a DNA in us. I think with that I'll close this. Thank you so much. How you find the book?